Now at 5, an alarming discovery in a Carmel front yard. What was found there and what it says about the history of that area.
And changes could kick millions of people off of federal food assistance. How that will limit access for Central Coast residents.
And the radar is showing some rain across the southern portions of our viewing area, but will any of it reach the ground?
Plus, the fight over who is the garlic capital of the world. Which California city is going after Gilroy to take the crown?
And we meet a Santa Cruz County family who's hoping to find a hero on social media. Their search for a life-saving opportunity.
This is KION News Channel 546 at 5.
A Carmel construction site has turned up a shocking discovery. Thanks for being here. I'm Aaron Groff.
And I'm Amanda Gomez. Human bones were found, and an archaeologist says they are of a Native American. Crews found them along 17th Avenue, and KION's Megan Meyer joins us live there now with what local historians are saying about this discovery. Megan.
Well, we know the bones were found somewhere here along 17th Avenue, but the big question being asked is how did they get here? A local historian says the discovery isn't too surprising. Today, residents of Carmel are being reminded that their home is not only rich in beauty, but rich in history. This week, a local construction crew dug up an ancient artifact, bones that an archaeologist says are Native American.
I'm not surprised, actually, that there might be findings of that nature here, and it's much that I think most of the coast was pretty well populated with Native Americans long before we arrived.
The Monterey County Sheriff's Office says the bones were discovered at a construction site right in this area of Carmel. They tell us the bones were quickly determined to be human and ancient. Historian at Harrison Memorial Library, Kathleen O'Connell, says it's been years since Native American bones were discovered in the area.
Many visitors, many locals may not really realize that they are part of this history, that this is and has been their home for thousands of years.
O'Connell says Native Americans are believed to have traveled through the Carmel area many centuries ago. She says Native American tribes were also a big part of the settlement of the Carmel mission in the 1770s. Based on history, O'Connell says she can take a guess at how old the bones may be.
Assuming they were connected to the mission, in that case not very old, a couple of hundred years, give or take. But if they were not connected to the mission and this was if they were part of the usual settlement before the Spanish colonization, they could be thousands of years old.
The Monterey County Sheriff's Office says the bones are now in the hands of the Native American Heritage Commission. They would not say whether construction has been halted since the discovery.
And they will designate a most likely descendant who will determine the outcome of the bones.
The Sheriff's Office is encouraging the public to remain respectful of the discovery. Live in Carmel, Megan Meyer, KION News Channel 546.
Just in our crime alert, the family of Luis Cuevas and the city of Greenfield are offering a reward for information regarding the death of their son. Cuevas was shot and killed on Oak Avenue in Greenfield. Anyone with information is being asked to come forward. And more in your crime alert now. One man is facing charges and another is on the run after police say they waved a gun in the parking lot of the Salinas Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant. When officers got there, the men sped away in a gray BMW. Police caught up to that car and arrested the passenger, Kenneth Fresquez. The driver is still on the loose tonight. And news around California now. 16 Marines were arrested at Camp Pendleton and accused of being involved in drug-related offenses and human smuggling, among other crimes. The arrest happened this morning during a battalion formation. A U.S. official told CNN the arrests are related to an incident that happened earlier this month where 2 Marines were charged with transporting undocumented immigrants for financial gain. The Marine Corps said 8 other Marines were also questioned for an unrelated drug investigation. A judge in San Diego has ordered the unsealing of 17 search warrants, obtaining details about the deadly Poway synagogue shooting near San Diego. Law enforcement obtained warrants to search the car, home, and locations visited by the suspect, John T. Ernest. Police say Ernest opened fire at the Chabad of Poway on April 27th during a Passover service. 1 worshiper was killed, 3 others were hurt, including the rabbi. Ernest has pleaded not guilty to murder and attempted murder charges.
Across the nation, Attorney General William Barr has ordered the first federal executions in 16 years. He directed the head of the Bureau of Prisons to execute 5 death row inmates. All of them were convicted of murdering children. The federal government reinstated capital punishment in 1988, but only 3 inmates have been executed since then. The last was in 2003. Accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein is back in his jail cell after leaving for medical treatment. Sources tell CBS News the disgraced businessman suffered minor injuries trying to commit suicide. Epstein is now isolated and on suicide watch while investigators check cameras to figure out what happened. Authorities will also look into whether another inmate may have attacked him or if he created the incident to get a transfer to another jail. Epstein was arrested earlier this month on sex trafficking and conspiracy charges for allegedly sexually abusing underage girls from 2002 to 2005. Right now, I want to take a first look at our weather with our Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca.
Yeah, Aaron, the radar actually lighting up a little bit today. Most of the activity in far southeastern Monterey County and into the Central Valley. Hiding behind our banner here, most of this activity, again, the radar on top of the Santa Cruz Mountains is detecting some high-level moisture. Most of this activity, well, it is clouds in the higher levels of the atmosphere. There might be a little bit of precipitation falling, but likelihood of that reaching the ground very low because this is very high. There's a big dry layer in between here and the ground. So at the moment, things pretty calm out there. Still watching for some lightning, but the closest strikes we've been seeing across the Sierra Nevada and in some of the Southern California mountains tonight. Nothing going on near us. So hopefully we can avoid any lightning late tonight into tomorrow morning as this moisture continues to stream in the area. And then the next thing we'll be talking about will be the heat. Today, not quite as warm, but still hot in our inland locations. The temperatures are going to be getting hotter this weekend. In fact, a new alert has been in place for that as well. I'll be talking about that in the full forecast coming up.
All right, Dan, thank you. Developing tonight, changes could be coming to food assistance across the country, which would hurt Central Coast families on CalFresh.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture's plan could throw 3 million Americans off of food stamps. The people impacted, families of 4 making more than $32,000 a year. KION's Drew Andre is live for us in Salinas with what this means for people on the Central Coast who depend on that service. Drew.
Well, Aaron, Mercado Mi Rancho is one of the many markets here in Salinas that accepts CalFresh or food stamps. They say about 50% of their clientele receives some sort of assistance. And in total, Monterey County has more than 18,000 households on CalFresh. That's more than 46,000 people. The county social service department says this change would harm many who live here. The county didn't feel comfortable giving an estimate of how many households here would be removed, but you can imagine there are a number of families receiving assistance that make more than $32,000 a year, which many find unfair.
I don't think it should go on how much you make per year or annually. It just if you work in the state and you're paying your taxes and you need help, the state should help you.
The rule change is intended to prevent abuse in the system and prevent anyone who receives welfare to automatically be enrolled. In addition, people with assets worth more than $2,250, that could even be a car, motorcycle, or something of comparable value, would also be eliminated. And coming up at 6 o'clock, not only are people here on the Central Coast worried about this, but businesses and grocery stores like the one behind me could feel some effects from that as well. We're live in Salinas tonight. I'm Drew Andre, KION News, Channel 546.
All right, Drew, thank you. In your ag report now, the Trump administration will pay more than $14 billion to farmers hurt by the U.S.-China trade war by late August. American farmers have been some of the hardest hit by China's retaliatory tariffs, which were put on a range of commodities, including soybeans, corn, and wheat. The payments will be split into 3 rounds. The maximum a farmer can receive is $500,000. California has reached a secret deal with 4 automakers to get around new fuel efficiency rollbacks ordered by the Trump administration. The state says tougher mileage standards are critical to controlling climate change. The Trump administration wants to revoke the state's power to set its own standards, saying consumers want bigger cars.
Traffic discussions continue in Capitola. After attempting to address issues in the Jewel Box area, people are now hoping their city leaders will check out other areas. You can see traffic heading out of Capitola Village here. It's a hot spot for tourists, meaning headaches for residents. This is where residents want to see the work done. They want speed tables or speed bumps placed on Clare Street and Capitola Avenue. All of this after seeing the efforts done to slow down drivers in the Jewel Box area with those types of features. KION's Victor Guzman has more on where residents want to see the work done in the city.
Behind me is Stockton Avenue. Eventually it turns into Cliff Drive, which then turns into Portola Drive. This is just one other stretch of road here in Capitola that residents say has the most traffic congestion and the most problem with speeders too, especially during the summer months. The residents have also expressed concerns over some turn restrictions up the hill in that Jewel Box area. They say the right turn restriction in the late afternoon hours is only making traffic worse. A commuter I talked to says any fix the city would make to solve the traffic flow problem here would be tough. That person had their own suggestions on what the city could do to ease traffic here.
Try to find a way for people to avoid having to drive would be another one, because I'm not sure what the city could do to make this road more open to that much traffic.
And there could be quite a few vehicles traveling through here too. Some of the blame he places on Highway 1 commuters trying to beat the traffic by cutting through the city of Capitola. Tonight, city council members are going to be discussing their efforts to relieve the traffic congestion over in the Jewel Box neighborhood. You can guarantee they'll be talking about other areas of the city facing the same problem. In Capitola, Victor Guzman, KION News Channel 546.
Coming up, it's a battle of the garlic capitals. We all know Gilroy is the king around here, but another city coming for the crown.
Plus, a Santa Cruz County woman turns to an unlikely source in her search for a kidney donor. The Gilroy Garlic Festival is tomorrow, and it's expected to have nearly 100,000 people show up.
But this year, Gilroy's crown is being challenged. In tonight's KION special report, Zach McIntyre spoke with two pungent punchers in the heavyweight battle for garlic capital of the world.
Garlic. It's essential for most dishes. And what's even better? It's grown right here in California. And while it might be a simple spice or herb, it's stirring up a not-so-simple rivalry. What comes to mind when you think of garlic?
I think of a marinated garlic chicken.
Barbecued ribs.
Pasta.
While these dishes are making my mouth water as I speak, that's not the answer I was going for. Let's try that again.
Gilroy.
Gilroy.
Gilroy, California.
Fresno. Fresno.
For decades, Gilroy has been known for one thing.
Garlic capital of the world.
But that title is being challenged.
When it comes to the growing side, there is no competition. Hands down, Fresno's the nation's capital.
For decades, Gilroy's claim to fame has been their garlic. Mouth-watering.
The garlic mayonnaise is another one that's good.
Tantalizing. Sure to spice up your food, garlic. And people come from all over the world to get it.
El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I just came and grabbed this one.
Because the title, Garlic Capital of the World, has the power to bring people like Dana all the way from Texas.
We're on a girls' road trip.
Yeah.
And she said, we have to stop in Gilroy.
Fresno wants in on that action and wants to claim the title. And while it might just be a friendly competition, Ryan Jacobson with the Fresno County Farm Bureau says branding is actually extremely important.
When we start talking about this battle, it's not just a state battle. We're talking about a national reputation here on the line.
Here's the issue. While the town of Gilroy currently holds the title and literally smells like the herb,
You just smell it, straight garlic, the whole ride.
most of the garlic grown in the United States is actually grown in Fresno County.
About 68% of the total production of the state of California is here in Fresno County.
And to top it all off, Fresno farmers say love is what separates their crops from Gilroy's.
We like to go out and sing to them, so they get a little extra special treatment.
Garlic is easily a multi-million-dollar business, and it's often one of the top 10 crops in the state per year. Over at the nation's largest garlic grower, Christopher Ranch, I'm told the title shouldn't depend on where it's grown.
So even though our garlic isn't all grown in Gilroy, every one of our 100 million pounds of garlic all comes home to Gilroy.
From there, it gets processed into everything you can think of.
Fresh garlic, peeled garlic, roasted garlic, jarred garlic, chopped garlic, vacuum sealed garlic. It's a bit like the Forrest Gump of the garlic world.
Gilroy not only processes the garlic, but the town literally celebrates it. For 40 years, the Gilroy Garlic Festival has been drawing crowds of people to the city. This year, nearly 100,000 are expected to come. Garlic is my favorite spice. I literally put it in everything. And I'm about to add it to some more food. I'm gonna put the Gilroy garlic up against the Fresno garlic in a taste test to find out who really is the garlic capital of the world. I'm sauteing garlic, salt, and butter. Putting these two garlics head to head, find out who makes the best garlic toast. First impressions are really good. I don't know if I can totally make the call. I'm gonna have to give it a tiebreaker for both the Gilroy and Fresno garlic in terms of taste, but I'm told as long as we're supporting California agriculture, we all win. For Zach McIntyre, KION News, back to you.
Now I want some garlic.
My goodness. I was wondering why Zach was smelling so strongly. Now we know. He's been practicing and experimenting in the kitchen.
Jealous of his assignment, though.
Yeah.
I know,
Sounds
so
like a
much
great
fun.
time.
And you really can smell the garlic. We were talking about that when you drive through Gilroy.
You know, if a garlic war happens, I'm fine with it.
We will
we're
all
here for
taste
it. Bring it
test.
on.
We will all judge.
I will be part of it, yeah. Yeah.
It's a deal.
We got the, things going on this weekend?
We
Hot
do.
things?
Yeah, hot in Gilroy,
gonna be
Dan.
hot
Yeah,
this
roasting
weekend.
that
Yeah,
garlic. You're
Roasted
going.
garlic, yeah, you'll feel it.
Yeah, we actually have an excessive heat warning. Actually, I guess we've got here's a live webcam from our Mount Toro with some low clouds showing up. Let's see if we can get our weather graphics coming back up here. There we go. Heat alerts. We have got an excessive heat watch in place for some portions of our viewing area, including the Diablo Range and the high country of San Benito County and southern Monterey County. All of these locations under an excessive heat watch, which means that temperatures will be hot enough that it will cause the potential for some heat illness for folks that especially are a little bit more susceptible to it. Children, the elderly, some that are infirm or have chronic illness, things like that. Now, this is for Saturday morning into Sunday evening, and that does include the overnight. Now, notice places like Gilroy, Hollister, the northern Salinas Valley, not within the boundaries of that watch. However, it's going to be hot for a lot of our inland areas, including the Santa Cruz Mountains on Saturday and Sunday. So just because you're not in the warning zone or the watch zone doesn't mean you're not going to be hot. It is going to be hot this weekend. Now today, pretty warm still for our inland areas, not so much on the coast. It's 100 at Pacheco Pass right now, 105 in Bradley, the San Antonio Valley in triple digits, and King City at 90. But take a look at the coast, 60s right now. Why is that? Oh, there you go. We've got the low clouds back. Now we have some high clouds passing through, some of them showing a little bit up on the radar earlier we mentioned, but no rain coming out of them as far as we can tell. And then around the coast, we've got the low clouds, and they have been thick, at least thickening up over the last couple of hours. So temperatures a little cooler tonight than last night by 5 to 10 degrees. So if you are heading out tonight, I wouldn't hesitate to bring a jacket. I think you should probably grab one. 8:18 p.m. is the sunset tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Those low clouds will continue. Temperatures dip into the upper 50s by late tonight. So let's get you into tomorrow morning. We do expect you to wake up to some low clouds and a little bit of fog around the bay and perhaps into some of our inland valleys. We continue to see some high clouds passing through, and there still is just a tiny chance that we could see an elevated shower develop. Likelihood of that reaching the ground is very low. The likelihood of lightning is very low, but there is a non-zero possibility. So it is possible out there into the overnight down to tomorrow. But into tomorrow afternoon, that threat will diminish. But we're going to hold on to a few low clouds on the south and east sides of the bay tomorrow afternoon. So places like Moss Landing down to Marina and then around the peninsula, you'll have some low clouds. North side of the bay will clear out. Inland areas will clear out, and those high clouds eventually will fade. And temperatures will warm up a little bit in some areas, but along the coast, we'll still see low 70s in Santa Cruz and Capitola, 80s to around 90 in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Certainly not hot, or as hot as it could be, but it's still pretty warm up in the mountains. Watsonville tomorrow, 72, low 70s, Prunedale to Salinas, mid 60s, Castroville to Marina. Upper 90s, though, in the Santa Clara Valley. Going to be nice and hot for folks getting prepped up there. And 86 in Hollister tomorrow. Over to Monterey, temperature still a little cool, 69, but certainly cooler out to Pacific Grove and Pebble Beach, 67 in Carmel and in Seaside. And then farther south, highs in the triple digits for a few spots down south like Bradley and the Pinnacles, but the rest of the valley in the 70s and 80s. Carmel Valley and Big Sur are going to stay in the 70s as well. All right, so let's look at that extended forecast. Temperatures will head back upward for Saturday. Saturday is looking gorgeous. If you're going to want to head out to the beaches on Saturday, well, that's going to be a nice place to be. Mostly sunny skies on the coast. Temperatures will cool off. Low clouds will thicken up for most of next week, especially Sunday through Tuesday. So do expect some cooler weather during that period of time. But inland areas, you get hot on Saturday. Highs about 10 to 12 degrees above normal, and will be very close to what we saw yesterday. In fact, perhaps some locations in southern Monterey County may eclipse temperatures we saw yesterday, and it was 108 in Bradley yesterday, so that could be very hot. Temperatures will cool a bit on Sunday, and then next week expect seasonable weather with passing clouds at times. Back to you.
Very hot indeed. Thank you, Dan. The search for a hero continues for one Santa Cruz County family. For the past 9 months, the Cole family has been searching for a kidney donor for their loving wife and mother, Jody. Jody only has 15% of her kidney function left, and the waiting list for a transplant is 7 to 8 years in the Santa Cruz County region. This weekend, Jody's husband took the search to social media, and they say their hope is not only to find a living donor for Jody, but to also raise awareness about the 100,000 other people across the country in need of the very same thing.
And every day you can wake up and say, I saved somebody.
Yeah, you can literally save somebody's life.
This is not just for us, it's for everyone that's suffering and needs a kidney, to let people know you have two. You only need one.
They say their insurance will cover all of the medical costs, and they'll also pay for any lost wages the donor may have from work. Coming up at 6, KION's Ashley Keene will have more on the Cole family story and what Jody says keeps her going every day. Happening this weekend, the Salinas Police Department and the Police Officers Association will host a barbecue for the Barafka family. Their son JT was diagnosed with a rare disease called TPI. He's currently being treated at Stanford Children's Hospital. There is no cure for the disease, but all proceeds from the barbecue will go toward research and awareness. That barbecue will be held on Sunday, July 28th. You can find tickets at the Salinas Police Department. There will be a car show, kids zone music, and raffle. And we'll have more from the family this weekend.
There are plenty of options if you're looking for ice cream without the cream. But are those supposed healthy options really any better for you? Maybe not.
Plus, Forever 21 is accused of fat shaming the surprise delivery that has social media buzzing.
Popular clothing chain Forever 21 is apologizing after their marketing campaign is being accused of fat shaming. A Twitter user posted a photo of an Atkins bar she says Forever 21 sent her with her size 18 jeans ordered online. She tweeted the company asking if they were trying to tell her to lose weight. Another person on social media responded saying they also got the bar with the swimsuit they ordered. One shopper saw the tweets and has some thoughts.
If you didn't ask for it, it's really like no one's position to tell you what you should be doing. I wouldn't send anything. I don't think it's Forever 21's place to be making comments.
Others say they don't see anything wrong with promoting healthy eating. Forever 21 told CNN that the retailer sometimes sends freebies with all orders, but they have stopped sending the Atkins bars.
If you love ice cream but you can't have dairy, good news, you have plenty of options these days. But if you choose non-dairy, are those options really better for you? Many brands made with almond or soy milk have lower calories per serving and could have less saturated fat, which raises bad cholesterol. But they are not all the same. Some have just as many calories as their dairy counterparts, especially those made with coconut milk. So choose wisely.
Coming up, a creative solution to a problem so many of us see. The length a driver went to fix a broken taillight. Finally tonight, a Colorado driver had a quick fix to his broken taillight. Yes, that is a red Gatorade bottle taped to the spot.
Oh my goodness.
He was doing this on his way to get it fixed. Police say it's creative, but you need to have a working taillight. They let the driver go without a ticket. He was on his way to get it fixed.
That is a new one.
Very clever. I like it.
I don't know if it lights up though if you're hitting the brakes.
Yeah,
I bet it would.
Interesting. That does it for us.